let's talk about what happened yesterday.
I mean, where do we start?
Yesterday, Beck came over for our routine podcast filming. Because that's what we do on Saturday afternoons. We've worked it out perfectly. My son naps from like 11:45ish to roughly 2 o'clock. Beck gets here at 2 o'clock. My wife takes Austin out for the afternoon, and Beck and I film. And we sat down, we did the damn thing, and then Beck left, and I start looking at the footage, and I realize that I have royally fucked up our recording to the point where it is not even savable. Is that the right word? Savable?
Yeah.
Couldn't even be saved.
The other word.
Yeah. And most of our recording, like our footage, was gone or not recorded. And it was a heavy topic.
It really was, yeah.
It was a really big conversation where it was horrible. I mean, some horrible things were talked about and horrible life experiences that we've had. Some tears were shed.
For something different.
And then my tears. I have been crying for over 12 hours.
Oh.
I slept.
Okay, good. So then you slept?
I slept, which was helpful, but it was like probably 5 o'clock yesterday when you called me and you were like, it's fine, I'll come back and we'll record again. And I was like, a hysterical
Like, I was
mess.
pretty mad, but it's human error. It was more just a therapy for me.
Yeah.
But, look, you're doing all the hard work, so I can't be mad at you.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I do think that what we've decided to do is reserve that topic again for another time where it won't feel so fresh and so forced, and we can really authentically have that conversation about some really heavy things together. But for now, we're just going to sit and see where the conversation takes us.
Look, I'm just going to say it's the universe's way of, I believe there's a reason for everything.
I was going to say this exact thing because let me tell you, for context, when Beck came over yesterday, our plan, we made a brief plan. We filmed, and then I was going to go to the movies of Georgia.
Lucky that didn't happen.
Correct. And we were sitting there, and Tate, my wife was really busy, and she was already, going to have to watch Austin if we went to the movies. And you had to, it would have been a lot of driving for you because you had to go home, get Chris.
It was just a lot going on.
It was just a fuck around of a plan. And then we were like,
yeah.
how about we just, and I said to Georgia, how about we just do this another weekend?
And she fell asleep really early last night, so she probably needed that too.
She was and she spent all afternoon with Austin yesterday, so obviously she was wrecked, right? And then I thought to myself, if we had gone to the movies, I wouldn't have checked the footage until this afternoon today.
And then Howard would have...
And then we wouldn't have had time to record before because you work full-time, I've got Austin full-time.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So we wouldn't have had time to record.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have worked out.
But even for me, I really wanted this released for purposes.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, the universe is saying something, even though I think it's the right time. Maybe it might not be. No. Yeah. It's going to be one of those sliding door moments where how do I did that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why everything falls into place. So
yeah, and I'm maybe if we don't understand it now, we will at one point.
That's what I mean. It's like a sliding doors moment.
We're gonna understand why it didn't work.
Yeah, and maybe when we release it again, when we redo it and we release it again, that will serve the purpose and
the stars will align in their own way for sure.
Yeah, something. I think so. We'll play this back later. This is my assumption that something will happen-ish, and we release it, and it's the reason why we've released it. Then. Yeah. Somebody's going to really need to hear it at that moment.
Yeah.
And
even if we don't see the direct impact of that, maybe one of our listeners might hear it and
we'll know about it. I believe we'll know.
Okay.
We'll know about it.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
I just feel like that's the reason why.
Okay. And it's a really beautiful thing to think of it in that way and not like a negative way like I have been crying for the past 12 hours because I don't know. I think that it is you spoke about it so beautifully in, our topic yesterday. You spoke about it so beautifully.
I thought that was why you were so upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a heavy conversation. And it felt like it was all for nothing. However.
No, it was good therapy.
Yeah.
It was heavy, for me, and I didn't realise how heavy, because I talk about it so much.
Yeah, you do.
But I think because I got so into it and I knew that this was possibly going to go out to a lot of people, I thought, I really hope somebody hears this and is like...
And feels something
about it. I will be okay. But I didn't realise how much therapy this is for me. So although it was heavy for me and I was like, fuck, we're going to have to do another podcast, like the very next day. I don't know that I'm mentally prepared for this. But I was like, but I want to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, this is therapy for me that I didn't know that I needed.
Yeah.
Because I talk about it, I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not to a degree where I'm like, I have to heal from this.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know I needed healing from.
Yeah. And it's crazy when you become...
This is the podcast I didn't know I needed. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Truly, though. Like, and like... What was I going to say? I was going to say something.
Therapy.
Oh, yeah, but it's crazy when, like, you accidentally become... Like, you're head-on faced with something that you were like, fuck, I really have to sit through this. And I have to hold space for myself. And I have to create an environment where I can heal from this. Because otherwise, if you don't heal from it, you're just going to suffer. Yeah. You're just going to suffer. And
I'm very big at my age now on healing from things I didn't even know I needed healing from. Because I know that this ruins not only me, but my children. Because I have to fill my cup for them. That whole thing in a plane, you have to put your oxygen mask on before you put theirs on. And yeah, as a mother, it's hard because you want to give them everything, but you got to give it to yourself because they lead by example.
That's right.
I can tell them what to do. I'm very good at telling people how you should eat, how you should do this, how you should go to the gym and do whatever. But if I'm not implementing, I'm full of shit. I'm just words.
It's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah. So when they see me doing it, they want to do it more.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, 100%. So.
And I think think about also the fact that when we sat down yesterday to film, my microphone fucked up and it was like, oh, that's a funny blooper.
What is the topic about
it? My mic just fell off. What a great start. What if it was a sign? Like, what if that was the sign that we should just
I did keep looking at it and remember we're like, is it okay? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Is it okay? And we're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
The confidence in us.
It's not fine.
Yeah. But anyway, should have the world ended yesterday, it wouldn't have been the worst thing.
No, it's true.
Thank you for holding the space from yesterday. Thank you for getting yourself so wound up.
Oh, please.
For the purposes of this.
Please. It's an honour to sit beside you every week. Twice a week this week.
How lucky.
And we've only done it. This is only our second episode. But it is...
The bloopers happen. We're laughing now.
And now it's
She wasn't. I wasn't.
Was a fucking wreck.
At the time you told me, I was waiting for my food, so I was a little bit hungry. I was a bit cold.
Where'd you guys end up going?
Oh, mate, we went to Nando's at Blacktown.
I love Nando's.
So did I, but the service was shit. She got the order wrong. It just wasn't right, but we had the...
George go with you?
Yeah, so she was even hungry by that point. Then we had the Dubai strawberry viral cup afterwards, so it made it all better.
Oh, yeah, good one. Delicious. They have that at XS here.
Yeah, so they had that little pop-up outside of West Point, so...
Nice.
That made it all better for us.
That's all right. So we don't really have any topics for today
we
because
don't have a topic.
We don't have topics for today, but we also never really have nothing to talk about. So let's have a look.
What are we going to do?
I have a bone to pick. Let's talk about this then because I got angry about it yesterday.
Okay. Oh, are we going there? Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
I have a bone to pick.
There's only one thing that you actually got really angry about.
Yeah, so it just kind of fired me up a bit.
I actually told Chris about it and Chris was like,
Oh, really? But your kids don't have names that are family oriented, are they? Are they?
No.
No,
we just sort of like
you just heard them names and went, oh, we like that.
Yeah.
Same as my kid's name.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from a family. I have a bone to pick with heterosexual couples who have children, and that's it. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Wow. I'm right here.
I'm fully kidding. I'm a product of a heterosexual couple having a child.
Damn it. Really?
I know.
How dare they?
How rude. No, I have a problem when heterosexual couples have children and they name their children, especially first names, related to the father's side.
Okay, why? This doesn't fire me up. I'm like, okay, cool. That's the opinion of the family because obviously the mother,
the opinion is wrong.
Has to agree. Everybody has to agree. It's going on the birth certificate.
Yeah, but like, why are we not thinking more of the woman's perspective and the
she would
woman's
have
present.
to agree at some point.
Yeah, but why should she agree? Why should she not go, no, I want something for me?
How do we know she's not?
I don't know.
I think it's an opinion.
It is an opinion, and it's fully an opinion. I just think it's a little bit disrespectful to the woman who has has gone through pregnancy.
But there's actually some women out there that are like, I want to name them after, like some women that are considerate to go, I want to name it after your father. Or
yeah, I know. I just don't think that's fair. Especially because 9 times out of 10, and I fully acknowledge that it's not like this in every family, 9 times out of 10, the child and the wife are taking the husband's surname.
Yeah.
Right? So when it came to our family...
Although I have a friend who's... her husband took her.
Yeah, I have an ex-friend that happened, the same thing.
I tried to get both our last names combined.
That would
just
work.
Just for the sake of being different.
That would work.
And then...
Wait, yours first or his first?
I didn't even think that far.
Oh, okay.
I just threw it out there, really. And then he said, why? And I was like, I don't know. And then I told my mum they want to stay under my maiden name. And she's like, what's the point of getting married otherwise? And I was like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, when it came to us choosing a surname, I said to Taylor from the beginning, I don't care if you want to keep your surname, I just don't want your surname. Not because I don't like it, but I just like mine more, and it's like...
And because there's nobody else to pass on your surname.
There's no one else to pass on my surname.
Yeah. So I think I know another couple, lesbian couple, that have done that. They've based on the last names, who has the least sibling to be able to pass.
I don't have any siblings. Yeah. I have cousins, 2 male cousins, but I don't even know them. They live in New York. I've never met them. And yeah, there's just no one else to take on my surname after me. So I said to Taylor, I don't care if you want to keep your surname. I just don't want your surname. So you can have your surname, I'll have my surname, and then we'll work out whatever we do with our kids. Like, that's fine. But Taylor was very adamant on having all of us have the same surname. And I was like, if that's what you want, baby, then that's what we will do.
I like how you said that like it was a choice.
Well, like...
But it's my surname.
But no.
If that's what you want to do.
Then it's mine.
Yeah.
Not yours, I'm sorry. And to her, she's got heaps of siblings, heaps of cousins.
Yeah. I honestly don't think she would have minded either. Just so long as she couldn't have cared if your last name was Smith and you plucked that out of your ass.
No.
So long as she's under the last name.
She wanted us all to have the same surname. And I respect that, you know. I fully respect that. And
that
then
works better when you've got... See, I've got the Chris. You've got the Taylor.
Yeah.
And when you said the Chris last night, you and Taylor are so the same.
Yeah.
We are so not. And I just looked at him and I go, you totally are.
You so are.
You so are.
Honestly, Chris and Taylor are just the same person in separate genders.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just...
Separated at birth and, like, by a few good years, too.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Whatever you want, babe.
Yeah. Like, it's very rare you'll get my husband saying no to me, and when he does, I'm like...
Taylor says no to me sometimes. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
He says no to me, but it's very rare and far and few in between that I'm, like, stopped in my tracks by, like, sorry. Like, he'll say, like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. But when he's, like adamantly, like, no, I'm like... But he also knows how to... This is going to sound very toxic, but it's not. How to work me, manipulate me to... Ooh. For example, I'm very, like, challenging when it comes to something.
Like your driver's license?
My driver's license. Yeah. He told me, no, I'm not driving you to your mum's. And I was like, sorry? Challenge accepted. I'm going to go and get my L's. And I did. And he's like, I knew how to do that to you. And I was like,
And you always fall for it?
Always. Because in my head, I'm straight. I'm like, challenge accepted. Oh. But he knows how to do that to me, though.
That's so
Which is great on my behalf, because God knows I wouldn't have gotten off my ass and got my license.
Oh, my God.
But he knows how to work me to that degree.
That's funny.
And I'm not even mad. Because, hello.
You got your license?
I could have been 40 with no license.
I'm going to be 40 with no license back.
You've got a license.
Yeah, but
I didn't even have my L's.
Okay.
I did nothing. I was passenger princess for how long?
I'm still a passenger. I mean, I drive when Taylor's home and I can drive with her, obviously.
I'm telling you, he needs to be your, like, he's so calm.
So's Taylor. I'm just anxious about the world.
I've been driving for how long and I watch dash cam videos and now I'm even more anxious.
Don't do that to yourself.
I can't stop.
And do they just keep coming up on your TikTok?
I think every driver's going to, like, veer into me. Every truck is carrying logs, you know.
But back to the name situation. When I was pregnant, we didn't know if Austin was a boy or a girl. We had no idea until the moment he popped out, right?
Yeah. So you didn't find out at all?
No. I wish I did.
Yeah,
because I
right.
feel like it would have, going back to our conversation yesterday, I feel like it would have prevented a lot of mental health issues for me.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that another
Yeah.
time. But yeah, we didn't know. And when we were obviously like, you know, oh, we've got some girls' names and some boys' names, and, you know, trying to work it out, I was adamant that I wanted whatever baby we had, whether it was a boy or a girl or pink or purple or blue, that I wanted them to have a name that was related to Taylor's side of the family, because we had committed to the idea that they would have my surname.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wanted, like, Taylor is just as much of a parent as me. Mm-hmm. They're going to have my surname. So I want them to have a name that comes from Taylor's mum's side or Taylor's dad's side.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be from her side of the family. And we had a name ready to go, and then in the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy, Taylor chickens out, and she goes, I can't do it. I can't do that
Taylor
name.
chickened out?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, so you had the name, yeah.
We had the name. Yeah. So let me explain. We had, for our girl's name, it was Taylor's great-grandmother. I'm not going to say it, because we still really like
Let's
it, and we're not
just say
sure.
Smith, for example.
Oh, it's a girl's name, though. So, like, say
No,
it
but
was...
let's say Smith, for argument's sake. Let's say Petal.
Petal, right? Let's say it's Petal, right? It's a fucking weird name.
I don't know where to put that from.
And then for the boy's name, we had John, for example. But in Taylor's family, Petal and John were a married couple.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it was her great-grandmother's name and her great-grandfather's name.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Okay.
They're a married couple.
Yeah.
And Taylor said, I really like Petal more for a girl. So if we have a boy and a girl in the future, I don't want them having a two names that were once a married couple. Like, I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. They're dead. I was like, it doesn't matter. They're dead anyway. Like, this is a lovely way to honour them.
Yeah.
I didn't meet Petal. I met John because,
Yeah.
you know, because Petal died before I was born. Before I met Taylor. Jesus Christ.
Wow, okay.
No, but, you know, Taylor was very much like, no, I can't do it because I like Petal more, and I really am sold on Petal if we have a girl, so I don't want to use the name John if we have a boy. And at this point, we didn't know Austin was a boy, but there was something in us that just knew he was a boy.
Yeah.
We just felt that he was. And so in the last 2 weeks, then she was like, can't do it. Can't do that name. And I was like, what do you fucking mean? And I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I hated pregnancy. I'm like, you can't just pull the rug underneath me like that.
Yeah, because we don't like change.
I don't like change. And I was sold on the fact that we were going to have this little boy called John.
Yeah.
And then... So, yeah, and then I don't even know what happened. We just started going through names on our phones, and then Austin came up and we liked it. And
I can't imagine him any other name.
Me neither.
No. It totally suits him. And you know what? My youngest has always said you got to have a name that suits the baby, the child, the adult. And that can totally suit him everywhere.
It's like one of those, like, not universal, but, like, it's a timeless name.
Yeah. And I've already told you what my thoughts are of Austin when he gets older.
Yes.
Like, that name is, like, it totally, like, Osty, so cute.
Yeah.
Austin. But I can totally see that man.
An Austin like, man, yeah.
I'm Austin Rivers.
Austin River.
I'm Austin River. And I'd be like, hi.
Hi. Lovely to meet you. Yeah. And do you know what's funny is that, like, I saw this TikTok the other day that was, like, a girl saying, like, oh, I'm naming my son right now. I'm pregnant with my little boy. And she was like, I keep thinking about in, like, a really nice, like, jazz bar in New York. And there's, like, a girl sitting there having a drink or whatever. And then a man approaches her and says, hi, I'm so-and-so, can I buy you a drink? And she's like, and I picture this son's name that I'm thinking of naming my son. If it sounds good, that's how I know I've got a good name.
Yeah, right.
She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's nice, I guess. But that being said, like, what if your son's gay? And it's not at a sexy jazz night bar. It's, like, at a gay club where they're all on pingers. I don't know. Just a thought.
Talk about setting the vibe. They're all on pingers. Hey! Hey!
Hey, are you a top or a bottom? Oh, fuck. Jesus. No, but yeah, that's what I feel about names. It gets me so cranky.
Well, George's middle name was actually going to be, because out of my whole husband, only his sister and his mum.
Out of my whole husband.
Sorry, out of my husband's whole family, I meant to say. My whole
Or your half husband.
Only his sister and his mum have middle names.
Okay.
So their middle name is Joy. We were going to call Georgia. It was going to be Georgina Joy.
Georgina Joy.
Yeah. So she was going to have the middle name because Jermaine has my family's middle name. He's got my brother's middle name.
Okay.
And that was just a no-brainer.
I don't even know what Jermaine's middle name is.
Owen.
Owen.
So most of the boys in my family have Owen for a middle name.
Oh.
So my brother has Owen. And I just said to Chris, what about this for name, Jermaine Owen? And he's like, yeah, because it just went.
Mm.
And so Georgia was just a no-brainer for me to try and flip it on his side because there's only one middle name we've got to pick from. So we will go with that. Georgina. And I said Georgina Joy. And then my younger sister said, because at the time she had no kids, she said, can she have my middle name because I've actually got no kids?
Oh.
And her middle name's Marie. And so I thought, okay, so George Marie or Georgina Joy. And I said to Chris, pick which name you want. Georgina Joy, like so that she's got your middle name, your family's middle name, or Georgia Marie. And he goes, I like Georgia Marie.
See, I respect that.
So either or, like I love them both, but I
Yeah.
would never give him an option where I don't like the name.
Yeah, of course.
So again, a bit like Sly, but I would have loved either one, and it still would have been J. Her name would have been with the J, so it would have been JJ, which she loves.
That's so cute.
But yeah.
See, I respect that because both the middle names of your kids came from your side of the family, and you're the one that pushed the fuckers out.
Yeah, but I would have happily had his side of the family.
Yeah,
like,
I
for
wouldn't
me,
have been happy with that.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
Yeah, no.
But again, because it was my decision, I wouldn't have given him a decision that I didn't
That
like.
you didn't like.
Yeah.
If we had, well, that's why Austin's middle name River comes from Taylor's side of the family. Not that the name is related, but it means something. It's complicated, but like, I don't want to get into it because it's not my family story to tell, but it means something that shares a meaning with another name in Taylor's family.
Okay, that's nice.
I'll explain to you off camera later. And then if we have a girl, she will have Taylor's middle name, which is Grace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Taylor Grace. Every firstborn daughter in Taylor's family has a middle name Grace.
See, ours is like Lee, Marie, or Louise, which is all of my sisters.
It's just white people names.
I know, but Rebecca Lee, my
Yeah.
Natasha Louise, and Simone Marie.
Yeah, okay. Cute.
And then the boys all have, like, most of them all have Owen.
Owen, yeah.
Very traditional, our family.
Although Owen is one of those names that you don't hear often. Like Lee, Marie, and Louise.
Well, it's my grandfather's middle name, so Albert Owen.
Okay.
So the boys just automatically got that, so it was just a no-brainer. Like, there's
just
no
carry it
picking.
on.
You just, like, have 4 names, and if it's a boy, he has that. The girls have these names.
Yeah.
And most of my cousins all have those middle names.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, but I can understand how Louise, Lee and Marie,
yeah.
they're all just white lady names.
Yeah.
But Owen is a white man name, but it's not one you hear often.
No,
and it's nice. It's like nice and unique, but still.
Yeah, one of them actually took it as a first name.
Oh, I like the
Yeah.
name Owen.
Yeah. I
like
don't
it.
hear it a lot. I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, okay.
It's common but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
right.
another like a timeless name. I think.
It is.
Yeah.
It lasts all ages.
Yeah.
And when Austin was born, I remember Taylor saying to me, because remember, we picked his name like 2 weeks before he was born. And she said, like, we had little baby Austin in our arms, and she goes, damn, like, I don't know if we have any good nicknames for Austin. Like, what do you call Austin? Like, how do you shorten that? And then somewhere, I don't know who it was, someone said Osty, and it worked.
Yeah.
And now I love it. And now he calls himself Otti. Otti.
that.
But yeah. But I like Owen too. It's nice.
Yeah. I didn't even have a boy's name picked for Georgia.
You didn't have a boy's name picked for Georgia?
We found out what she was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you just didn't even need to think about it.
No, but I even liked it before we knew. I don't know if I didn't think.
We had to think, yeah, because we had no idea. And you didn't find out with Jermaine?
Yeah, we found out Jermaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you didn't even...
He was actually, he had a girl's name.
He had a girl's name?
He was going to be...
And it wasn't Georgia?
No. He was going to be Khadijah. So, funny story, because Queen Latifah,
Okay.
she's a singer / actress.
Right.
Sorry, that's her singer name, sorry.
Yeah.
She was in a movie where her name is...
Khadijah.
Her name was Khadijah. It was like
okay.
a black basketball movie.
Okay.
And I really loved the name.
Right.
And
It's
so
an
I said
Arab name.
Yeah. And I said to Chris, this is what we're going to call the baby if it's a girl. And he's like, I don't even like that name. And I was like, for our child. And he's like,
Yeah.
I
I
was
really
like,
like
okay,
it.
cool. But then we end up having Jermaine. I was like, oh,
That's crazy.
yeah. And then my
For
niece
those who
ended up
don't know
having
that,
name,
ended up...
which she couldn't fit any other name.
Yeah.
Like, that is just her name.
Even seeing photos of her, she looks very like a Khadijah. Yeah. Why don't I tell the story of the craziest night I had?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Because I
Okay.
don't even know this story.
You don't know this story.
No.
How do I even start? So I was working, this was years ago. I was working in the city doing an admin job that I needed to make money. Like, it was a shit job, right? And at the time, I had this favorite DJ who I really, really loved. I loved this DJ. She was so much fun. I had met her a couple of times, and she was doing a gig in Bondi at the Pavilion. Is that right? The Bondi Pavilion? Is that a real location, or did I make that up?
Go keep talking, I'll tell you.
Okay, Bondi Pavilion is what I think I remember. Bondi Beach Pavilion?
Bondi Pavilion Theatre
No.
Events. I think it is. It's a real name.
But it was like a club.
Cultural Centre.
But it was like a club.
Bondi Pavilion What's On Events. Performing arts, music, community.
Okay,
Bondi
well, anyway,
Festival.
there was an event on at Bondi Beach.
Yep.
Now it's going to fucking irk me. But anyway, there was an event on, and she...
Is this real?
And she... You couldn't just go. You couldn't just go. You had to win tickets, right, to this event. And I won tickets to this event, right? I don't even remember how I did it, but I won. And I made friends with this girl. I had 3 tickets, right, that I had won. I made friends with this girl at work. She was here on a working holiday visa. I couldn't even tell you her name. We had been friends for like 3 weeks. She had no friends.
3 years ago, like, you didn't even know her name.
No, we had been friends for like 3 weeks. She had only just got here to Sydney, and she was on a working holiday visa from London. And I was like, oh my God, like, let's go clubbing in Sydney at Bondi Beach. It's a really good time. And she goes, okay, yeah, let's go. Like, you know, she goes, let's just go back to my place first. I got to get dressed after work and then we'll go. And I had another friend at the time who's actually, I'm going to bleep this because I don't like this person anymore.
You really cut ties with people.
Oh, yeah. No, he was Taylor's high school best friend.
Okay.
And funnily enough, his name was...
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bleep that. But like, anyway. So for the sake of the conversation, let's call him Robert. Oh my God. So Robert is Taylor's high school best friend. He's a gay guy. At the time, he and I we were all really close. He even lived with us for a long time. Like, we were really, really close friends. At this point, we had already left Taylor's small hometown that you know
I was about
of.
to say, was this...
No. We had left there and we were living in Penrith already. But every now and then, because we were so close with him, he'd come up and spend like the whole weekend with us. Or if he had time off work, he'd spend time, you know, like just spend at our house, really. And this was one of those weekends. And I say to Robert, I'm like, hey, like, I really like this DJ. I know you've, you know, liked some of her songs as well. Like, do you want to come to this event? And so then, I don't remember how, but he came to the city and then we all 3 of us went to this girl's, like, house for her to get dressed. It was like it was like her apartment, because she had just gotten here from London. So she couldn't afford much. And I don't even know how she scored this fucking 1-bedroom. It was like, honestly, like a horror film walking into this. Like, I was like, I'm going to turn around, someone's going to be there to stab me. Like, it was a scary ass apartment building. I had to walk up like 10 flights of stairs to get to.
How is she living by herself in this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we make our way to the event and we get on the wrong train first. First we get on the wrong train. We end up going towards, like, I think it was like Newcastle. We didn't make it all the way to Newcastle, but we're on the train towards Newcastle. And then one of us goes, I think we're on the wrong train. And we get off and then we're like, fuck, we have to wait 45 minutes for the next train at Central Station, I think, or something like that, to go back to Central Station to then go to Bondi. We get to Bondi, and it's like, I want to say like 11:45 midnight, almost midnight.
By that point, I would have said, we're going home.
Well, I was young. I was like, it's fine, an adventure.
Yeah, true.
We get to the event. I get in with these tickets I'd won, and the DJ I love is playing her last song. Like, I'm talking... I go in there and I'm like, hey, girlfriend, like, because I had met her a couple of times. I'm like, hey, girlfriend. She's like, hey, thank you for coming. I'm like, yeah, it was a great set, babe.
Loved it.
We get some photos with her. It was a really good night. Anyway, then we're like, fuck, we're stranded at Bondi Beach now. because this event, I'm telling you, this place that I think is called the Pavilion, I think it's called the Pavilion. It's right on the beach. So you cross the street and Bondi Beach is right there. Is that what it is?
Because that's the picture it's giving, but I do. Yeah, so hang on.
Show me a photo of it. Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah, because there's a stairs.
Yeah.
Walk down to like where the fence
that's the
is
place.
and the beach. Yeah.
It's midnight though, Beck.
Yeah.
It is midnight. And we're like...
There's probably no fear factor whatsoever either. Like
There was no fear factor because Robert, my friend Robert, it's weird calling him that. Anyways, Robert was, even though he was gay, he was not very feminine. He wasn't like your typical gay boy that's feminine. Right. He was not masculine heaps either, but a lot of the time...
He was a guy you felt safe with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he was much taller than me. I mean, everyone's taller than me.
You would trust that if somebody was to come up and want to start?
Yeah.
Like...
I never felt unsafe with him.
Yeah, cool.
He wasn't a very lovely person, and that's why we're not friends with him anymore, but I did feel safe with him.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time...
That's how I measure up my safeness.
Yeah.
Like, can you
Will
jump
you go
in
for me? Yeah.
with like 1 to 100?
Yeah.
Are you willing to like sacrifice
for
yourself
me?
for
Yeah.
me? Yes.
And in many situations, he would often act as my boyfriend to...
Yeah.
Because this was not our first time going out and having fun like this, right?
Yeah.
Together. Then my new friend from London goes, I'm going to go home. Actually, do you know what? I think she did call it when we got on the wrong train. I think she went home and it was just Robert and I that went to the gig. I think that's what happened. Yeah, that's right. And then at the time, my friend Robert was very much into collecting succulents.
It's almost midnight, and the one point she comes out with is he loves collecting. Yeah.
At the front of like this pavilion, you know how some people have like at a cafe they have like a little centerpiece or something.
Yeah.
They had succulents on every table. And Robert goes, not even plants. My man takes the whole pot and fucks off.
Oh.
And they were like probably the size of your mug.
Yeah.
Like a mug-sized little pot.
I was just thinking clipping, but...
No, he didn't clip. He's walking around, arms like this. I'm talking like 4 or 5 little pots of succulents. Because we were like, fuck this. Like, we've had a rough night. No one was there anyway. There was no secchies or anything. It's like midnight.
Yeah.
Right? And we start frolicking along the beach.
As you do.
The water's coming in. It was a kind of cold night, but when you're young and you've had a couple drinks
in you... romantic scene.
Right.
You're not knowing you were gay.
Well, that's exactly right. He's gay, I'm gay, you know. And he was...
I can imagine the bystanders like, how cute.
I know. And he was truly one of my best friends at the time.
Yeah.
Like, probably my bestest friend at the time. So we have a great time. Robin and I are on the beach frolicking about. And then we come to, like... terms with the fact that like it's midnight and we don't know what we're gonna do. What do we go home? What's going on? So then he says to me, "Oh, I look at the train times and the next train isn't for like 2 hours, like 2 a.m." So we're like, "What the fuck do we do?" And he goes, "Oh, good. I've called this guy that I'm talking to. He lives in Parramatta. He's so down right now for a route that he's gonna come and pick us up and drive us home."
For him.
No. He's going to come to Parramatta. Yeah, for not me, obviously.
I was thinking, hang on, I have a bad feeling about this.
No.
Okay.
He goes, he is so down. He's so into me. I don't know if they were actually going to fuck, but he goes, he's so into me right now that he's going to drive from Parramatta all the way to Bondi and then drive us back home to Penrith, because that's where Taylor and I were living in Penrith still, and he was staying with us that night.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, fuck, like this guy's really into you, like really into you. So obviously it doesn't quick drive from Parramatta to Bondi.
Yeah.
So like we're still frolicking about and whatever. Some stupid o'clock rolls around and this guy rocks up. I don't remember his name. Let's call him Nathan. Nathan rocks up. Nathan has this tattoo on his arm of a Delta Goodrem song.
I was going to say, is Nathan gay as well, or he doesn't know it yet?
No, Nathan's fully gay.
As soon as you said Delta Goodrem, I was like, he has to be gay.
Such a faggot, right?
Yeah.
I can say that.
Yeah.
So Nathan has a Delta Goodrem tattoo on his arm. At this point, I'm still a hardcore Delta Goodrem fan. Like, hardcore, right? And Robert, I almost said his real name, Robert, and goes, "Oh my God, Izzy, like, this is Nathan. Like, we've been talking for a little bit. He's got a Delta Goodrem tattoo." And we start driving. Like, we get in the car and I'm like, "Hey, lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming to get..." He's so kind, so lovely. oh, like, honestly, I have anything I can do to help you guys get home safe. Like, what a rough situation. Like, honestly, one of the sweetest people that I've ever spoken to. Like, very kind and just lovely. Beck, I shit you not. I shit you not. We get
Something about this still doesn't sit
We
right.
get 8 meters up the road. 8 fucking meters up the road, the cops pull us over. Like sirens. In the middle of Bondi, the cops pull us over, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. Like, is it an RBT? Like, strange. Like, didn't have anything set up. They breath test him. He's not got any alcohol in his system. He's like clean. They're like, all right, we're going to need you to get out of the car. We're like, what the fuck? We stay in the car because we're like, we don't know.
So they've ran his plates or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. This man that has just so graciously come to pick us up and take us all the way home is now we've been pulled over. The cops are talking to him now. We look behind us. They've got him in cuffs. They're like, we're going to need you to come back to the station with us.
What the fuck is in his car?
Nothing. The car is clean because they don't even need this car.
I almost want it there to be like dead bodies or
No,
ammunition in the boot.
Beck. No, they don't. Like, there's even a point where Robert and I are like, what do we do? How do we get home? And this Nathan guy says to Robert, take my keys, you drive home. Robert's like, I've got alcohol in my system, plus it's a manual. I don't drive manual.
All the while the cops are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The cops even said to Robert, like, if you want, you can drive his car home. It's fine. We don't need the car. We just need him.
Wow. They really don't give a shit. Like,
No.
they've got the person.
Yeah, but then Robert was like, well, obviously, yeah, I've got alcohol in my system, can't drink, and I don't drive manual, and his car's a manual. So we get our shit out of the car. We're like, what the fuck do we do? I think we get a taxi to the station.
Could have the cops not driven you to the station? It's not their job, really.
No, it's not their job. We
I'm
get
thinking of safety.
we get a taxi to, we walk to Bondi Station, then get back to Central.
So you're
we
back to square one here.
Correct. We have to then wait 2 hours. So it was like 3:34 a.m. by this point. 2 hours to get back to, we think the train is taking us back to Penrith, but then it stops at Town Hall, I think. And then we have to get a bus from Town Hall back to Penrith.
Yeah, I've been on that
because
before.
obviously, like, some situation was going on and they didn't have trains running back to Penrith. Taylor's at home just sleeping.
Unbeknown what's happening.
Unbeknown to what's happening.
Yeah.
She has no clue, like, fully asleep. It's like 4:30, 5 a.m. and we roll home. By the way, I get home. Oh, no. I get on the bus and I need to tap with my Opal card. I'm looking everywhere in my bag. My wallet's just vanished. So somewhere between running off the train at Town Hall to the bus, my wallet's flopped out of my bag. Lost my wallet, lost all my money, lost all my cards. I get home to Taylor at like 4:35 a.m. sobbing hysterically.
I would have been,
Crying. Like, I can't stop crying. Taylor's like, you could have called me. I would have come to pick you up. And I was like, I didn't want to bother you.
Okay, yeah. I definitely would have been like, I would have probably called my sister before I called Chris because I didn't want to bother him.
And then it was like a couple of weeks later and Taylor teaches us that you can actually look anyone up on the court system if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
We didn't know this at the time and we looked up this
I
guy.
definitely would have thought about it at the time.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know.
I know this, but nowhere did I just think you could have looked them up. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, right? And then Taylor's like, oh, we can just look him up.
Yeah, it's public record.
It turns out that a couple of years before this situation, this man was deposited something stupid, like millions of dollars into his bank account. He didn't declare it. He paid off his dad's new car loan. He went to Bali.
This Nathan guy.
So he was deposited an amount of money into his account, suspicious amount of money into his account.
He knew where it came from.
I don't think he knew where it came from, but he didn't declare it. He didn't declare it, and he got himself a new car. I think he paid off his dad's car loan, and then he went to Bali, and then like spent all of it, kinda, and never declared it.
If you're doing,
and he went
to
prison.
Yeah, somebody, you have to know something.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I have no idea, but that's my night.
Let's not assume things. But what a fucking night!
I know.
It was making me anxious. I was half expecting like there to be a body bound.
No.
In the boot.
Well, I was like probably like 19, 20? 20? It's rough.
have been a cool / anxious
Maybe
night.
even 21, actually. Fuck, I don't remember. But yeah, anxious night. Horrible night.
Wow. That's pretty, that is full on.
Yeah.
That would have been, I can see why you've
Saved it for the
story.
podcast.
Yeah, because I would have been like, guess what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was,
definitely
and
been my
I
story.
often forget about that until I remember and I'm like, oh my God.
Looking back now, if that was Austin, right?
Oh my God.
You were like, anything could have happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think back, I've had some of those nights, probably not that wild, but I've had a few nights where if my kids told me that story, I would have been
You'd
like,
shit your pants.
you don't know what could have happened to you. Yeah, absolutely. And I just kept putting myself in these situations.
But
I didn't really have as much fear or anxiety as a child as I do now.
But like, I understand I think the only place I really fucked up was getting the wrong train. Like, I could have.
You didn't put yourself in shitty. You
No.
weren't jumping in the car with strangers, although you were to a degree.
Nathan kind of was a
But
stranger.
somebody knew the guy.
Robert knew this guy.
You're not hitchhiking.
No.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not even kidding when I say 8 meters down the road. Not even a full kilometer. Not even 20 Ks. Sorry, 20 meters down the road. Like, we rolled a little bit and the car's like, wah, 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 behind us. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? It was crazy.
But to then be like...
It makes me wonder
if
they were
finally going home.
Yeah.
And then you get that, like... And next minute, they're cuffing him on the boot. Like,
cuffing him.
Yeah. Who even is this guy?
Literally.
And what is he doing?
Literally.
Why are they just cuffing him?
And we're like bonding over the fact that he has a Delta Goodrum tattoo. And I'm thinking to myself...
This guy's got to go to jail with
and like,
boys. That's what I'm thinking of.
Correct. And then
You're done.
And like my best friend Robert, and I'm like thinking, fuck, like... My best friend Robert has had quite a few fuckboys, like, treat him horribly. I'm like, this could be the one, man. Like, you could fall in love with this one. He likes Delta Goodrum. Like,
he's not
fucking hell.
inside.
And apparently then he never heard from him again.
I hope he's... I don't really know, but I hope he's okay. I hope he's not...
I don't really care.
Look him up.
I might. I actually don't even remember his actual name, like Nathan's actual name. I don't remember.
Oh, don't worry about them.
I might have to see if Taylor does, because I feel like Taylor would. Because it was her that was like, oh, we should just look him up on the court thingy. And then I'm pretty sure there was like a...
You know what? She's such a quick thinker. She's so good like that. Same as my husband.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we even Googled him and there was like a...
Obituary notice.
No.
Not funny.
No. But like a...
why we haven't heard from him.
A news report about the situation.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I really want to remember to see if I can... I'll send it to you when I find it.
Yeah,
I'll ask Taylor.
I'm invested. I need to know.
I'm going to ask Taylor later.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
What's his name?
Because TikTok's out now.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. You can look up anything now.
Yeah.
How...
I'm going to find out and then I'll report back.
Okay.
Because that was, I often think about that, but I'm just trying to remember his name. I feel like it actually did... Actually, I'm not even going to say.
No. Because we might slip something.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, we'll talk about this
another time when cameras are off.
Off the record.
What's like the craziest night you've had then?
Oh God, I don't know if I want to actually like disclose much.
Shit. Disclose makes it sound like it's a legal battle.
No, not disclose. Just because my kids are going to listen, and of course your mother never did anything that she shouldn't have. So
she didn't sneak out.
No, I definitely didn't sneak out. Did I?
I actually never snuck out.
No, I didn't sneak out.
No, neither.
I just didn't tell them where I was. Actually, not the craziest night, but let me tell you about the funny night.
Okay.
So, me, my best friend, one of our other friends, Amanda, at the time, nobody had a license. I don't know if I ever told you this. Nobody had a license. Melissa, my best friend, she had a car that was registered to her name. Her partner was the full licensed driver.
Okay.
So, she had the car.
And it was her car.
It was her car.
No license.
So, we didn't have any kids. So, my best friend had kids then.
You would have been, what, like 19?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
We'd go over to her house and looking back now, I think that's really shitty friends. We would be like, don't worry about it. Like, I don't want to say her partner's name. Let's just call the partner Fred. Yeah, Fred's got it. Let Fred look after him. It wasn't his job. Like, not his job. That was his stepchild.
Yeah.
But you're also she's also a parent. Like,
Yeah.
let her do her job. But because we had no care factors, we thought everybody should have no care factors anyway. So we're like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, we done all that, and we'd go out to like day clubs.
Day
So
clubs?
we wouldn't be leaving home till 10 o'clock at night, getting dressed, and getting home at like 9, 10 in the morning or whatever. Yeah. So we'd go out unlicensed. No, nothing like that. So anyway, so we're driving. My mum had a scanner at the time, which is actually illegal.
What's a scanner?
So you can hear all the police radio activity.
Oh, didn't even know what that was called.
Yeah. So she's very nosy. This is where I get it from. So
She,
you can see everything.
she does seem like she would have been a nosy lady.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this, she was listening to the police scanner just for shit and giggles.
Right.
We happened to get pulled over because we had gone to put petrol in the car before we'd gone out. 4 houses down from my friend Amanda's house. Her mum's just as nosy as my mum. So when a car gets pulled over in our area, Mount Druitt, you're like,
what's going on?
You're not even like behind the curtains. You got no shame. You're getting out like, who is it? And we just knew like, fuck, our mum's going to be out watching. So we get out. The copper comes and says, who's got a license? We were like, fuck, none of us have a license. Amanda had her L's. Right, Amanda had her L's. And then she's like, oh, I've got my L's. And he's like, who's car registered? She's like, it's to Melissa. And he says, do you even have a license? Like, you're at the back, do you even have anything? I was like, no, I don't. I have no ID. I quickly then slide my ID to my best friend. She puts her hand out like, because she's like, this is us. We've chosen that the car's registered to her. Amanda's decided she's driving. This should have nothing to do with you. But she's quickly like, give me your ID. You've got no ID. I was like, okay. Couple pulls over. He's like, right, well, he's got to get out. He doesn't even fine us or anything at this point. He's just like, get out. You can't drive this car. We're like, yeah, no worries. So we then call Amanda's.
Were you speeding or something?
No, he just pulled us over.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then just decided to ask us. I don't know. He could have ran the plates on, but done nothing anyway.
Yeah.
Just went, okay, well, you got no license. Get out. You can't come. So we waited there and I said, no, the cop is definitely going to do a round. He's going to check if we've gotten back in the car and then he's only going to pull us over down the road again. So let's just not. We called Amanda's boyfriend at the time, who then come all the way from like Parramatta, come pick us up.
Another Parramatta trip?
Yeah. Come all the way down to pick us up. And so then
what time was this in the morning?
Oh no, this was like...
Oh, before you went?
Yeah, because we went and filled up petrol and whatnot.
Okay.
Then we're going back to Melissa's house to do whatever we had to do and get ready and whatnot. So then we go back and get the car later anyway. All good. We go home. We've driven this car around God knows how many times. Like, we're lucky we only got pulled over once. And yeah, but all I can think of is, oh my God, Amanda's mum is at the front watching. My mum's going to hear it on a police scanner. My sister goes, yeah, mum actually did hear it on the police. Like, she heard someone get pulled over down there. And I was like, fuck. Didn't, like, really say too much about names or anything. My mum definitely didn't say anything to me, so I don't know that we got done. But, yeah, just, and there was a few other things in between. We don't want to discuss that, but... I'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
But, it was just such a funny fucking
That's
night.
hilarious thinking about, like, you guys, like, trying to, like, dodge, like, oh, like, he's just going to do a round and then come and we're just going to get back in the car and then pull us over again.
We did. We drove around. I drove around that car. That was our, like, car all the time. That's how we went out. That's how I had a life.
Illegal,
for sure.
Me love it.
Don't recommend my kids do that.
Where would you go, though? Like, how far were you driving? Were you going to the city?
No, I'm only going to like Penrith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, because we didn't want to drive too far because it was already illegal. Like, if we
Yeah.
got stranded, we can get home. And we had plenty of people to call between a lot of us. There was always
because you're
someone
so
to
popular.
call.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't with my husband then, so
Yeah.
I'd had someone that I could call.
Yeah.
But it was just shit. The situations me and my best friend alone put ourselves in.
I don't have many of those.
I'm surprised.
Only that one, I think.
I don't know how we survived. That's made perfect memories for us growing up.
Oh, absolutely.
But this is why she can never not be my best friend, because I would have to kill her and vice versa.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, one of those ones.
She's a lifer.
Oh, there's no doubt about that now. Like, it's just what we did.
I don't, like, my best friends now are the ones that I do this with, sit down and have a cuppa and yap.
Yeah, it's funny that we do this now because I was...
Can you imagine
and another thing I tell you, when I was unhinged, I was unhinged.
Can you imagine if we were the same age, though?
I don't know if we ever would have crossed paths.
If we were the same age? Probably not.
Because we're two completely two different groups.
Yeah, but if we were friends and we were the same age.
If we were friends at the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows this, Beck's like 20 years older than me. 20?
Like?
Yeah. Oh, not that many. Not
20
that
is a
many.
bit much.
Hang on, let me do the maths.
Because you're not 22.
No, I just keep thinking I am still. I keep thinking I'm like the other day. The other day I saw something. I was doing a survey for something, and it was like, "How old are you? Are you?" And that's when I got like brackets, and I was like, "Oh yeah, 25 or under." And I was like, "Fuck, I'm actually 28 this year." You're 43, right?
43 this year.
Okay, you're 15 years older than me.
Okay, wow. I don't even think about the gap between us two.
I think about it all the time. That sometimes I'm in the middle of yours and George's ages. I think I'm 14 years.
See, that's the thing about I don't think about the age with anybody. So when I legitimately ask, like, how old are you? Some people are like, well, how old do you think I am? But I don't put an age on anyone because I think we're obviously talking about the same thing.
Do.
No, see? And we're obviously talking about the same thing or we're into the same thing at some point. And I just think, I don't think how old you are. So when you tell me, I'm like legitimately like, wow.
I'm 17 years older than George.
Wow.
And you're 15 years older than me. So.
Would you mind 20 this year? How old are you?
28.
Wow, you're only 8 years older than my oldest.
Mm-hmm. And he's about 50 meters taller than me.
Yeah.
But everyone's 50 meters taller than me.
I didn't think about it like that. Yeah.
That I always think about that.
Ah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm complete opposite.
And that's not me thinking like that there's a difference in us because of our age, but I do think about like, well, you've got 15 years more of experience on things than I do.
Yeah.
That's how
See,
I think
I'm
about
legitimately like shocked because, we're talking about the same thing. I'm like, how old are you? Until they say something like, but who's that? And I'm like, how old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think about like when you're telling a story, like just then you were telling a story and I was like, so you would have been like 19, 20?
Yeah, you
like
do that
that's,
a lot.
I'm trying to imagine like 20-year-old Beck in that situation.
Oh, 20-year-old Beck was unhinged. Like, perfect example when I told you
Yeah.
out there. And there's like, I'll get to the stories, but there's, everybody that knew me I was chaos with a capital C.
Chaos with a capital C.
I was no fucks given. Not that not that it's changed back, but I'm more considerate of other people around me. Now.
Yeah.
Before, there was no chance in hell.
Yeah, right.
I
think I was the same.
I was like,
I think that's just
I was just ready to fight everybody that ever hurt, like my sister or
Me too.
somebody upset.
Me too.
Now I'm more like.
But you mean like fist fight?
Yeah, but now I'm more like, well, what did you say? Like, how did it get to this point now?
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody just can be that. And I wasn't angry. I just thought I was the shit.
You thought you were the shit.
Yeah, and I was invincible. I could do whatever.
I think that like...
And I never got myself into a bad situation doing that. So because I never did, I was like...
You just kept
I
going.
put myself up a notch.
Yeah.
Really. You didn't even have to do it.
You kept feeling like you were
Yeah.
invincible.
Yeah.
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 I get that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was the same, but I wasn't a fist fighter. And I still, when I get really fired up, same way as like in the last episode I said, I love saying happy birthday to people without saying happy birthday because I really love using my words and using the correct words and describing things.
Oh, I get toxic when I use words. Like,
my
I'm
favorite
low-blows.
thing like ever is, it's horrible. But if you've hurt me,
How
I'm going to...
toxic are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
If you've hurt me, I know exactly how to make you feel this fucking big and I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I will enjoy every second of it.
I can throw you low blows like you wouldn't believe. Like as if I've had them just stacked up, ready to go for any time that I hate you.
Yep.
And I can love you with my whole heart.
Yep.
But the minute you disrespect me or fuck me over to the degree where I've got to do that, bang, 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 bang. Like I've got them coming.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's so
and
bad.
it's dangerous because I think now, my maturing now is that I really, really do think about how I speak to someone. And if it doesn't come out right or if I've hurt someone, 9 times out of 10 now, it is unintentional.
Yeah.
9.5 times out of 10 now.
Because now I think that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And if I genuinely hate you, I'm not giving you that much energy. Like, I'd rather just you suffer in silence and just leave you wondering at that point. Because you know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
You want to stay there hating me? Good for you.
Imagine.
Like, who even are you?
Imagine hating me and I'm just like unbothered.
Yeah, I'd rather just say that.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, to the right person who I know I was going to get back to.
Or just say to them.
They said, imagine just hating you and they don't even know what your name is anymore. Like, and then they'd be like, what? They would get fired up again. Yeah. And I legitimately don't give two fucks.
You don't give a fuck, yeah.
So that would be my little ammunition.
Now I haven't had to, like, use that ammunition where I've really badly hurt someone in a really long time. But I know how to.
Yeah.
And I know that if I was to be put in that situation again, I would enjoy it.
Me too. I'm like, I haven't done that in a long time.
A long time. And
That
I
would
think,
almost be
Beck,
like a release.
the fact that it hasn't happened in a long time, I think that's maturing.
Yeah. Because I do think about it a lot. And I hope it doesn't happen again.
Me too.
Because if you're at the other end, watch out.
Yeah, so I think we might have lost a few minutes of video footage just then, but it's okay. I've got audio and I can handle that. I can make that work.
I think talking about how toxic we were probably would have been better off if we lost audio.
I think so too. I think so too.
Well, I mean, while we're on the subject of rage, things that set you off in an overstimulated rage.
Yesterday, I was sitting here looking at the footage that I was trying to recover, and Taylor and Austin were sitting and playing with the microphones. Did I send you the video of Austin singing into the microphone?
Yeah.
That was 2 minutes before I was like, Taylor, I need you to both to get out here. Get out of here now, I said, or something like that. And she was like, okay, Austin, let's go have a shower. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I love you guys. But like, I was trying to like pay attention to the footage and like listen to the audio and stuff. But that's, too many sounds.
Yeah.
And I think you said the same in the first
episode.
episode.
I said, same thing. When my husband's trying to talk to me about something and the TV is going and I can hear the dryer has just finished.
And there's like the dogs are barking.
Yeah, dogs are barking. And all of a sudden, they are the loudest things and he's right in front of me. That and somebody trying to... Now, they obviously know I have a hearing issue and they try to talk to me from another room while I'm in the shower. So I've got the water running on my ears. I've got the glass shower there.
Do you use noise-cancelling headphones or AirPods or something?
I think AirPods at work.
Do you use them at home? You should.
I'm fine at work. Like at home, I mean.
Right.
Just... because I'm obviously going to do something. And then when they're trying to talk to me, all of a sudden, I can hear the TV.
Yeah.
I could not hear it before. But you're trying to talk to me like the TV's at like 11.
I recommend doing it at home, using them at home anyway. And then like you'll
I might
find...
love them and like just not.
Huh?
I might love them too much and just be like...
That's fine. But it might prevent that stage. That's what my therapist told me. If you're listening, Amy, you're a real one. My therapist's name is Amy.
Okay.
She said to me that like even if you don't feel like you need it, use it so then it prevents you from blowing up later.
Okay.
Even if you're like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need it, and then all of a sudden you snap.
Yeah.
If you had started using them
fine.
earlier, you might not reach the point of snapping. You might
Okay.
not. Just try it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when I'm in the shower, they'll be talking to me. Now, I can hear them. I have no idea what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Because
like,
your ears
"What?"
aren't already the greatest.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And they're like, I can hear you, but I have no idea what you're saying. I'm in the fucking shower in another room with glass in between us.
And the water.
And they know that. And then they're coming in.
Maybe just make a
They come in
rule.
to say, oh, don't worry about it. No, you're here.
Tell
me now.
me,
But
yeah.
I'm like, I got the door. Tell me now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm splashing water on the glass so I can see you properly now. Tell me.
Yeah. Maybe you got to start like when mum has a shower, leave me the fuck alone.
Like anything though, and every mother will probably vouch for this, you could be sitting in a lounge doing absolutely nothing and nobody wants to bother you. But the minute you got to get on that phone, your kid decides to tell you about their day. Your other kid decides to tell you the perfect time about their friend. Like
Austin just learnt to say, who's that?
Yeah, I'm like...
So I'm on the phone and he's going, who's that? Who's that? Mama, who's that?
I am that mum that now gets on the phone with the AirPods, walks around the house.
The audio listeners have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. So I'm just like clicking my fingers, pointing like, get over there, do that, move that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm that mum.
You got to.
Yeah. So my kids are like, thank God their hearing's okay because they can hear the clicking. Or I'll put the call on mute and be like, get the rubbish out! Unmute. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can definitely make that payment next week. Thank you so much.
No idea what's going on in the background, but yeah, that's that
It's
mum.
funny though, like, what else do you find gives you rage? Just sounds or?
People that like sit at lights too long. By too long, I mean like 30 seconds past the light already turned green. I'm like,
Yeah, but
the
that
light's
would be-
green, hurry up!
That would be me when I get on the road.
Yeah. I hear my daughter in the background like, come on! I'm like, do you need to do that?
Taylor's little sister
me.
used to say, "You old coot." You old coot.
Yeah.
Like to like randoms. Like
Yeah.
she'd be like 4 or 5 years old in the back seat going, "Hurry up, you old coot."
How funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's definitely me. My son's more calmer when he drives.
Is he?
Thank God.
He doesn't seem like he would be, knowing who he is.
Oh, look, I've been on the phone to him and he's like, what are you fucking doing here? You almost ran me off the road. I'm like, oh my God, my anxiety just peaked. But I've been in the car with him also, and he's not as bad as me.
not that
He'll
bad.
say to me, "You're so zippy. Settle down." He's obviously not. I am.
You are.
I just got no patience. This it gets me into a rage. I just don't know why people just don't do it. It's an ick, and it just bothers me so much for no reason. It's not the end of the world. People who leave the trolleys in the car park.
Really?
It's just based on morals. Morals is what you do when nobody's watching. Just put the fucking trolley back in the parking bay.
Apparently, I don't have morals.
Like, just do it.
I don't have morals.
Because I hate backing into a parking spot and seeing there's a trolley there.
There is someone that gets paid to collect them, though. I'm just helping them.
Not all the time. Like, somebody obviously collects the trolleys, but don't leave them in a parking spot.
Sorry.
I will, like, take it. If I see another trolley, I'm pushing that other trolley into, because I just think there's trolley bays for a reason. Don't be a dick.
You're a better person than I am.
I am. When it comes to that, I am.
I am, Izzy.
I see.
Yeah,
people
you're a
leaving
fucking
their
shit.
trolley, like, and I'm judging. No morals. No morals. No morals. That and parking in disabled parking spots.
That gets me. That fucks me off.
I've never wanted to park in a disabled parking spot. I would never do that. I've contemplated parking in a parents with prams, but I've actually been that mum, because I've had the cesarean, started driving again, had to get her out, and now I contemplate, I think about doing it. I haven't, but I'm totally that one. I'm the Mrs. Mangle that winds her window down, knowing damn well you got no car seats in that car, so you've not got a child in that car to be parking in that spot, and I'm looking at you as I'm driving past, like, I know, asshole. Now there's a mum with twins.
My grandmother
trying to get her pram out.
My grandmother and my
parking spot.
grandfather were the same with the disabled parking, because they obviously have. My grandmother's still alive, but my grandfather, when he was alive, obviously had his own disabled sticker as well, just because of his old age and multiple surgeries he had. And he used to, bless him, he would never yell at them in English. Oh, look, actually, sometimes he did. And he had broken English too, so he couldn't really understand him. So it would be even more scary, because this man is just yelling words at you, but they're not really forming proper sentences.
But I think that makes it even scary, because you know this old man's upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started, I think he drilled it into me about, he's like, there are people who are actually disabled, blah, blah, blah. And the only thing that fucked me off, though, is that I don't think sometimes he wouldn't realise that you don't have to be old to be disabled.
Yeah.
So he'd get angry at young people, and I'd be like, they could still be disabled. And then he'd check that they had the little sticker, and he'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like,
I'm looking to see that you even have a sticker. If
Yeah.
you've got a sticker, I don't care if you're taking the piss.
Yeah.
So long as you got that sticker to say, I can be here,
My grandmother has
whether
one
it's yours
still.
or not,
Yeah.
get that sticker on your car, at least. So you're not taking the piss.
No.
But if you got no car seats in that car, you're not even got a pram, and you're a 30-year-old bloke in your ute, you're taking the piss.
It's
like, you're
bullshit.
taking it from someone.
That needs
Anyone
it.
that's got kids that has to get this pram out, get the kids, get the shopping in, that I think is shit.
Yeah.
But I'm totally looking like asshole.
Pure judgment.
I'm looking, like, I'm making sure you know they give no fucks.
No.
Because they're like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
But I'm like,
And you don't have any authority.
and I don't, but I'm still like,
You'd do a citizen's arrest, though, wouldn't you?
oh, chances. Like, if I thought I could take someone down, or like somebody would absolutely come to my rescue and I wouldn't get bashed for it after.
Oh, my God.
I might. I don't know. Like, who knows? Like, depending on the mood I'm in.
My cat's howling at me.
Is that a cat?
Yeah, that was a cat. I think it was Toto.
I could hear the noise. I had no idea where it was coming from.
We got an hour's worth of footage.
We're pretty good. We've got some pretty good stories.
And we didn't come with anything prepared.
No. Okay, so can we just give a quick rundown on how we discuss our topics? Because I'm sure to a degree some people... Because before the podcast, people were like, have you pre-recorded anything? And I was like...
Nah.
No.
So the way that we do it... Well, when
Like, we don't even give ourselves a chance to, like, think of anything, really.
No.
No.
I think we're going to have to, though.
Our stories are pretty good without it. Except for today, because it was, like, sprung on
Today
us.
we just kind of, like, winged it a little bit. But when we decided to do the podcast and I was getting everything set up and getting everything ready, I said to Beck, I've always said to Beck, every phone call we've ever had or every conversation we've ever had could be a podcast episode. And so then I said to Beck, when it comes to us sitting down and actually recording, we're going to have minimal contact. I said, Beck, every thought you've ever had that you want to share with me, you need to write down on your phone.
To be fair, we don't have many calls now.
No, because of that reason.
Yeah. Which works.
It works. Yeah. We don't speak as much as we used to because we savor our conversations to sit in front of a camera and a microphone.
Yeah.
So I I think we're going to have... We might even be able to put a question box up or something as well.
We should. I was thinking about that. So Izzy has a list. I has a list.
I have a list.
I also can't English. I have a list. And then of things that we think we might want to discuss. And then literally 5-10 minutes before the podcast, we sort of just go, what's on your list? Sort of just like what we did.
Yep.
What's on your list? What's on my list that we can merge that's similar?
Yeah, like they have the same sort of theme or whatever.
And we have some, like, besides yesterday's topic, was good. Like, we had some pretty great talk.
Yeah, we did.
We had excellent. So I know it will work.
We have good crack.
Yeah.
I think we might even be able to put a question box up and see if anyone wants us to yap about anything. Do you have access to our Instagram?
No.
Okay. I'll fix it.
I just, like, send stuff to you.
Okay, cool.
Well, not really a lot, but some, yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it work though. We can see what people have to say and what they want us to talk about. I don't know if anyone wants us to talk anymore. I don't know if anyone cares about us.
I don't know either. I mean,
at this present time,
I was so hooked on yesterday's episode because it would have, like, clicked into everybody.
Yeah.
This is just a bit of a fart ass one, but it does get better.
But it worked out, and we've made quality content today.
Yeah.
I think if anything, Beck, we would
give us a third chance. We will get it right.
No, but I do think that, like, if we didn't have the heavy topic we had yesterday, we wouldn't have had this episode.
True.
And this episode has still been quite entertaining, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But there's some cracker content.
There is.
Can I say cracker?
Cracker.
I heard it on TikTok and I was like,
I like that word.
Cracker TikTok.
Listen, watch out, millennials back.
Yeah, I'm still working on my poses, PS.
Yeah.
I've got to look.
Maybe we'll post them on the gram. Gram for people to see your
I can't pose
poses.
for shit. I've been on social media for a while now.
Do you throw up a peace sign?
I do.
Of course
I
you
don't
do.
know why. I'm like, I'm 43. I'm not 43. Can I do that still? I don't know. I do it because I don't know what to do with my hands.
Beck, you're so funny. Funniest person in the world.
Yeah. I need to make myself a shirt.
I'll make you a shirt.
That was that.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something on mind. I'll make you a shirt.
shirt.
I'll make you one. You can wear it the next episode. Funniest person in the world.
Yeah,
alive or in the world?
In the world.
Okay, both work. Maybe one of each. I think we call it here.
Yeah.
It's been lovely to re-record with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for holding me through every tear.
All good.
And I promise to do the same back.
You're only human.
I am a human being, and it's okay to make mistakes.
And I can't be mad at you because I've got no idea on this shit. So you're doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah. If I had any clue what I was doing and then you were just giving it a crack, I would absolutely be making like, I told you not to touch it. I know what I'm doing. But I absolutely don't. So I can't be mad at you, but I'm not even putting a finger on it.
Fair point. No, fair.
Yeah.
I feel really confident with everything today.
Good.
Be good. Don't do anything stupid. And I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
See you on Thursday.